You got to invest in yourself. And you can't do it begrudgingly. We got to go get who? Leroy and Shaniqua. Now, Leroy is the person that is in our community that you think is lost. But Leroy lost his way because he was ensnared by the trick of Satan, because you weren't on your job in the watchtower. You were not watching Leroy, nor Shaniqua. So as a result, the enemy designed a plan to ensnare your children and trap your children. Let me show you how the plan, what it looks like. Well, you know, collard greens grow on a stalk. Is that right? You don't pull the stalk up. You go pull the leaves. And then that same stalk will grow some more leaves. So what they do is they find a way to get Leroy while he's at 5 years old to pigeonhole him into wanting to go out and do drugs or sell drugs. And they kill the esteem of Leroy, making Leroy look like he's bad and Shaniqua bad and ugly too, because we allow the enemy to ensnare our children. So Leroy ends up, by the time he's 15, and it's already projected that he's on his way to prison. Now they know that Leroy is on his way because they've already built some houses for him, you know, with some no windows and bars on them for Leroy. And then these big corporations invest in these prisons and make a lot of money. The biggest investment now going on is the prisons for Leroy and Shaniqua, your children. But Troy not only have a master's in finance now, he also has a RN degree, and he's working 2 hospitals, making a lot of money, and bought homes. You see, they're in Houston. When he learned about himself, because, see, Troy was a richly pigmented brother. You know, y'all don't call him black, but he was richly pigmented. And he had low self-esteem. When I began to tell him about his ancestors who looked like him, and that the blood of these ancestors, like Imhotep and Mansa Musa, was in him, and proved to him that he was an extension of them, just like we're an extension of God. When he began to understand that, he got so excited, he started debating with the teachers, the class, and his grades went up, but you got to lift them up. You got to lift them up high, and you will see how they'll starve, and they won't feel bad about wanting to hurt nobody else because they love themselves. So we got to have a system in place to educate our own. We got to start looking at building companies that's part of what it is that you're about, and that can produce the successes necessary for your people to survive. So if you're $1 billion mindset, you go on and say, well, I don't care what he said about the million. I'm $1 billion. Some of you may even feel you're a trillion. And if you are, you're correct. But you got to go get it. But you got to get it for us, not just for you. We got to do the work to get Leroy back in our community.